What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to Monday night's late night agenda. It is Monday. No, it's Friday. Friday night's late night agenda. Craig doesn't even know what day it is. That's how bad things are in my gaff at the minute with regards to where the fuck in the world we are. But anyway, as I said, definitely did make a mistake. Welcome to Friday night's late night agenda, everybody. The eve of the weekend, the eve of the Reds game against Burnley. And look, we'll go through that in some more detail a little bit later on. I've got a full Burnley preview ready for you. I've got my started 11 or my predicted starting 11. My score predictions to come as well. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I've got to start off tonight's stream with a little bit of bad news, and I'm sure that you've read it. I'm sure that you've seen it in social media and reported in various outlets. Unfortunately, Jordan Henderson is going to miss the remainder of the season. The 4 games that we have left to play, we will be without our captain. Jurgen Klopp has confirmed. Some good news is that Jordan Henderson will definitely be lifting the Premier League trophy. And look, if there is any good news to be taken from this, I suppose it is that small thing there, because he's the captain. He deserves to lift it. I don't know if he's going to go full on John Terry yet and run in with his kit on after the game and lift the trophy. I don't know. But it is a bit of bad news. It's not as bad as the club had first feared. He will be available for the start of next season, and he doesn't have to have an operation on it. So I suppose that is some good news. Not wholly unexpected that he was going to miss the remainder of the season, but that is the update from Jurgen Klopp. And actually, surprisingly enough, today, 5 years ago, was the day that Jordan Henderson was made captain of Liverpool Football Club. So congratulations to Hendo on everything that he has achieved in that 5 years. Of course, his manager and the rest of his teammates have had a lot to do with that as well, but again, just wanted to finish with a bit of a positive on the whole Hendo situation. So just for those that are wondering, yes, he will be lifting the trophy. Yes, he looks like he'll be available for the start of next season, but unfortunately, we won't have him for the 4 remaining games. But you know, we are where we are, and we move on and we try and look at it in a positive light if there is any positives to be taken from it. Now, another update from Jurgen Klopp's press conference today was that Dejan Lovren will be available for selection for the game against Burnley tomorrow. And whether he starts or not, look, that remains to be seen. But we'll wait and see. Welcome, William Campbell. Welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, buddy. Really glad that you've signed up and become a member. So thank you very much for that one. What else have we got? Oh yes, I wanted to have a little chat around VAR before we move on, because I'm sure that you guys seen over the weekend there was a couple of incidents, penalty incidents, that were just shambolic, really, if we're being honest about it. So we had the Bruno Fernandes penalty incident for Manchester United, and then we had the Harry Kane penalty incident in that game. Dermot Gallagher on Sky Sports News today was doing his ref watch, and they were talking about both incidents, and he said that both incidents were wrong. The calls were wrong. It shouldn't have been a penalty for United, and it should have been a penalty for Spurs. Now, I'm not here to talk about United and Spurs. I don't really care about the penalties. All I care about is the right decisions. And Dermot Gallagher's excuse was, and this is an excuse that we're going to hear over and over again, because of the high threshold for VAR to intervene for a clear and obvious error, they weren't overturned. Now, we all know it was the wrong decision. Dermot Gallagher knows it was the wrong decision. The people assessing the referees will know it was the wrong decision. So why the fuck aren't these being overturned? Well, the simple answer, I suppose, is that they get to hide behind this high threshold nonsense, because it's an excuse for the referees not to go over and have a look at the side of the pitch. Now, there's a couple of things at play here. One, why are the Premier League using VAR differently to everybody else and to the way that FIFA have instructed them to use VAR? That will change next season, because FIFA have taken over the whole ruling of VAR, and we'll talk about that a little bit down the line. Pierluigi Collina actually today was talking about it as well, and it kind of lays into what I'm going to talk about here. So, let's paint a picture. So the referee's refereeing the game. Pick a referee. Let's say John Moss. And let's say that Paul Tierney is in the VAR room. So John Moss makes a decision on the pitch, and he doesn't give something. It then goes up to VAR, and he looks at it, and he can't overturn it because it is ridiculous high threshold. But I think there's probably something else at play here as well. And I wonder if they just don't want to be seen to be undermining their fellow referee. That may be a subconscious thing. I'm not accusing the referees of intentionally cheating here in any way, shape or form, but it could be an unconscious bias towards their own official. And the whole thing about the referees having this high tolerance level before they overturn, or before the VAR officials will overturn, it's just nonsense. It can be sorted out very easily. Let the referee go over to the side of the pitch, like everywhere else in the world, and look at the monitor, and then he can make his own mind up. If he thinks that he's going to stand over his original decision, have at it. It's the referee that's making that call. He will then be assessed by the refereeing assessor, and due action taken down the line if he's made the wrong decision. Some of these are just ridiculous. And Pierluigi Collina, as I said, did come out and speak about this. And I thought the way he worded it was excellent. So, Pierluigi Collina, for you, those of you that don't know, is in my opinion the greatest referee that's ever refereed a game of football. He is also head of the referees for FIFA. And he came out today and he said that referees need to stop showing these wrong kind of solidarity by supporting incorrect on-field decisions. I think that's spot on. Because if the referee makes a decision and sticks by his own decision, I think that would be a lot more palatable for most of us, because that's the man that's refereeing the game. If he gets a decision wrong, he's more likely to say, oh, I got that one wrong actually. Let's overturn it if he goes and has a look at the monitor. So from next season, it looks like, and I'd be astonished if we don't see referees going to the pitchside monitors more, rather than going to Stockley Park for those guys to have a look at it, because this high threshold stuff, it just doesn't sit well with many football fans, because it's supposed to be clear and obvious error. It's supposed to be if the wrong decision was made on the pitch, and they happen, because these things are split second. Referees aren't machines. They can't be expected to get everything wrong. And I don't think anybody does expect or everything right, I should say. And they shouldn't expect referees to get everything right. So it's okay if they need to have a second look. That's what it's there for. But please use it. That's all that we're asking here. And I didn't want to come on and be really ranty about this, because it's something that we've had since the start of the season, and something that we knew was going to happen, that they were told to use those pitchside monitors sparingly. I just hope that we don't get to a point next season where we're still talking about this. I hope the common sense prevails and that the referees go over, have a second look themselves, and then make up their own mind. I think, from my point of view anyway, I think that we'd all stomach that a little bit better. Again, I'd love to know what you guys think, and if you're watching this back, please do let me know what you think about VAR, and do you think it's been implemented correctly? And one more thing before I finish up on the VAR issue is, it's kind of unfair for the players in the Premier League as well. And I mean every player in the Premier League, because if they go off on international duty, or they go off playing in European competition, it's a different setup. They're now having referees who are going to have a look at the side of the pitch and make the decisions, and not knowing that there's this higher threshold nonsense that needs to be achieved in order for what was clearly a wrong decision to be overturned. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Just say that it's wrong, or advise the referee to go and have a look at it. That's one way that they could have gotten around this whole thing. If somebody, let's say Paul Tierney's sitting in the VAR room in Stockley Park, and John Moss makes a decision, and Paul Tierney knows that it's the wrong decision, but he doesn't want to be seen to be undermining his video or his referee, just tell him, go on, John, I think you should go and have a look, mate. Go on over to the side of the pitch, have a look at that monitor, and make your own decision. I think that would be straightforward, wouldn't it? Like they said that it's to save time, but some of these decisions we've seen are being looked at 10, 15 times, and it would have taken no longer than the ref going over to the side of the pitch. So I hope we see this for next season. But anyway, just to reiterate what we started off with tonight, in case you're coming in a little bit late, Jordan Henderson has been ruled out for the remaining 4 games of the season. That knee injury seems to be fairly serious, but not thankfully serious enough that he has to have an operation. So he will be available for the start of next season, and he will be lifting the Premier League trophy. So look, let me dip into the chat and see how everybody's feeling about this one. Fourth official should instruct the referee too, said Joanne Fisher. I don't know what powers under the laws of the game, Joanne, that the fourth officials actually have with regards to that, so I'm not going to say yes or no either way. Man United have equalled the record for the most penalties in a season. And on that, I'm not sitting here saying United should or shouldn't have had the majority of those penalties. This wasn't me having a dig at United. This is me having a dig at the entire system, and that they need to just use it properly. What else have we got? Refs are now just supervising the game, said Matt Douglas. I would agree with that, Matt. What's the point of them being in charge of it if they're not going to be in charge of it? I mean, own your decisions, go over and make them yourself. Now, things like offside, stuff like that, that's what VAR is for, and I don't think any of us has any issues with that. Liverpool, you never walk alone, said Fergie is controlling the VAR, Craig. Again, this isn't me having a dig at United. That just happened to be that those were the 2 incidents this week. If you bring in video review, it should be like American sports, said Dr. Bell. In what sense? Please do elaborate on that one, buddy. I genuinely would love to know. I'd also, do you think we'll ever get to a point where the referees are mic'd up? And I mean mic'd up properly, and you can actually hear how they interact with the players and stuff. And I think if we did get to a point where the referees were mic'd up, it would also stop some of the abuse that they receive from players, because players would know that everything that they've been saying is being caught on microphone, so they'd probably be likely to speak to the referees a bit more respectfully. And look, that's what we all want as well, by the way. That's something that is one of my real gripes about the sport that I love so much, is that I look at other sports like rugby and there's much more respect for the referee, and that has to be taught from a younger age. That has to be taught from under 7s, under 8s, under 9s, under 10s, all the way through your playing career, that the referee is the law on the pitch. And there's nothing annoys me more than people getting up in the referee's face. I don't understand it, and I think immediately the referees should be brandishing cards for that type of stuff. Right, what have we got? Do you think we should sign Said at said Anfield? I've no idea who that is, mate, so I'm going to pass on that one. The ref one pitch is the main ref for the game, needs to be in control for the decisions and should look at the monitor, said Subi. The official should, what's this? The official office should normally, a manager should get at least 3 No, that's bullshit. That whole 3 review challenge thing is nonsense, because I'll tell you exactly what happened there. Jose Mourinho and other managers would start using that as a way to tactically change games, so I'm all against these 3 reviews nonsense. What we have now is fine. They just need to use the pitch side monitors. VAR is here to stay. That's not going to change. All that I think I and a lot of football fans are asking is that there's a level playing field right across the platform. Phil Space said 13 penalties is just ridiculous. At least they don't get Fergie time now. What I'm getting a good laugh about, actually, and this is a little dig at United, by the way, is some of the United fans suddenly thinking that their front 3 is better than our front 3, or that this Manchester United team will suddenly just walk away with the Premier League next year. Let me just remind you of the piss-easy run of fixtures that United have had since we've come back and the end of their season. And they could well get Champions League football, and if they get it, absolutely they deserve it. But they aren't a reincarnation of the Brazilian team of the 60s and 70s. They're not that Pep Guardiola Barcelona side. They're a decent side, but they're still a long way behind Liverpool and Manchester City. And I think some Manchester United fans are just kidding themselves about how good they actually are. But let them. Let them, because reality will hit them. What have we got? That's definitely a problem. I heard that England has a lack of referees. I think, my take on this, mate. Referees in the Premier League, they aren't up to the greatest standard. We have the best players in the league, or in the world, excuse me. We've got the best managers in the world. I think we've got the best league in the world. But the standard of officiating in the Premier League, it just doesn't cut the mustard with me. Well, that's just my take on it. But then again, I've always been fairly angry towards referees. You guys will know that from the watch-alongs. Right. A few more little bits and pieces to talk about. Liverpool and Fulham look set to go to a tribunal, by the way, to resolve the issue around Harvey Elliott's fee. So I'm sure you guys may not remember this, because I'd forgotten about it myself, actually. But Liverpool and Fulham never actually agreed a compensation package for Harvey Elliott. So as you guys know, when players are brought through a youth system and they go on, even if their contract moves on, and they go on to another club, that club is still due compensation for their training and their footballing education and stuff. And you probably remember the whole Danny Ings thing when we signed him. That went to a tribunal. I think it ended up being a record fee at a tribunal at the time, which was around 8.5 million, if my memory is correct. And Liverpool and Fulham just couldn't agree over the compensation due for Harvey Elliott. So that's going to go to a tribunal. I think Fulham are looking for somewhere around 7 million, if what I've read is to be believed. And look, I'm sure this will be sorted out in due course. It won't change a damn thing with regards to Harvey Elliott being a Liverpool player. He did, of course, sign his first professional contract at the club, and he's going to be an absolute superstar. But I just wanted to give you that little update on that one. I think we all like VAR when it goes our way. That's probably right, yeah, to be fair. I mean, I can't really argue with that one. What else is there? What channel is the game on tomorrow? BT Sport 1, Remy. BT Sport 1 in Ireland and the UK. And look, we will be starting our coverage from 2:30pm tomorrow. I hope you can join us for the watch along. We will, of course, be on YouTube. Make sure you've got your notifications turned on, and make sure you're subscribed as well. As you can see here, if you want to become a member of the channel, all you have to do is hit that blue join button. Membership of Anfield Agenda FC, which is what we call our entry-level membership, is just 99p or 99 cent a month. For that 99p or 99 cent, you get a whole host of things, really. You get use of all the cool emojis that some of our subscribers are going to be spamming the chat with right now, because they know. When I go into the spiel, they know. And you also get use of the Anfield Agenda badge, which shows up beside your name. So when you sign up, the badge will be bronze. When you're here with us 2 months, that'll turn silver. Then it will turn gold, and eventually it'll turn red. But most importantly, and I think this is the most appealing thing about our membership, is you get access to our Discord group, which is where we chat about football and loads of other things offline. And we've recently started a Facebook group, by the way, and there is a link for that in the description. So if you're on social media, we've always been very active on Twitter and on Instagram, but now we're also on Facebook, and there is a link to our Facebook page in the stream description. So please do go check that out, give the page a like, and hopefully you'll enjoy the content that we're going to be putting on there. As I said, we are on Twitter and Instagram as well, and if you want to give us a follow on those, here are the social media platforms. There you go. So just at Anfield Agenda on both. We're flying along on Instagram, absolutely flying on there. I mean, we've gone up to 14,000, almost 14,100 followers, and we've only started really using it over the past few months. So if you're an Instagram or a Twitter user, then it's just at Anfield Agenda if you want to give us a follow over there. Right, let's keep going. We go into the Burnley preview now, ladies and gentlemen. Why not? That's what we're all here for. After all, that's who we're playing tomorrow. So right, here's my preview for the Burnley game tomorrow, and here's the 11th that I've picked for. Now, we did flip it around because somebody said to us the other day that the pitch was upside down, and they were absolutely spot on. So we did flip it around now, and before anybody says that the players are on the wrong side, they're not. If you imagine that you're Alisson Becker there and you look straight forward, then they're on the right side. So anyway, I just wanted to clear that up before somebody else says it, because I know somebody will look at it and go, what? Robbo's on that side, you should be on the other side. Just imagine that you are where Alisson is. It caught me out as well at first. But, right, let's go through the predicted 11 for the Burnley game. So what I've gone for is Alisson in goal, Trent at right back, Gomez, Van Dijk and Robertson. I'm going full strength at the back. And we, of course, are going to probably have a change or two in midfield. And as always, midfield is the area that I find the most difficult when I'm doing these previews, because Klopp does love a change. Now, we know that we've got no Jordan Henderson. So the midfield trio that I've gone for is Fabinho, James Milner and Naby Keita. Now, I absolutely understand anybody who wants to give Curtis Jones a run. And if I was picking the team, I probably would have had Curtis Jones in there instead of James Milner. But I'm picking the 11 that I think Jurgen Klopp will go with for the game. And I think that he might go back to James Milner, who of course got a few minutes in the last game and is coming back from that little knock that he took. So he should be fairly fresh, which is why I'm thinking maybe the gaffer will go with James Milner in midfield. And then up front, I'm not making a change. All of our forwards have had a rest in recent weeks. It started off with Mo having a rest, then I think it was Bobby, then Sadio. So they've all had a rest, so they should be good to go. So my 11, Alisson, Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robertson. Then in midfield, Fabinho, James Milner and Naby Keita. And then up front, the front three. They don't change if they're all fit, in my opinion. They should never change if they're all fit, even though they do need a rest from time to time. But I've also gone for a 2-0 win for the Reds in this game. I'm on a bit of a roll with the predictions. I've got the last two right, so I'm on for a hat-trick here. So I probably took more time over this score prediction than I normally would, because I wanted to try and get it right, because I want to get 3 in a row. So I've gone for a 2-0 win for the Reds. Who scores those goals? I really don't know. Again, though, I wouldn't mind seeing Curtis Jones in there. I wouldn't mind seeing Harvey Elliott get some minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if Klopp perhaps gives Takumi Minamino a start in the front three. But I had to pick an 11. And this is the one that I've gone for. So again, let me know what you guys think in the chat. Let me know your 11 for the game. And if you're watching this back as well, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section. Right, what have we got? I'm good at a Henderson's injured, said Unleashed Dems 1. So am I, man. I'm really, really upset for him. But at least he still gets to lift the trophy, and that's the most important thing. And at least the league is wrapped up. Yes, we do have to try and catch that Manchester City record of 100 points, and we need 3 wins from our last 4 games to beat that. Craig, don't you think some of the young lads will get some game time against Burnley with Arsenal, Chelsea coming? I don't see them getting any opportunities there. Perhaps, mate. Genuinely, it's just guesswork here for me. And Curtis Jones being in that team, I would be sound about, mate. I'd have no problem with it whatsoever. Neco Williams has got some minutes. He got 45, of course, in the last game, albeit he did come off a half time, obviously, because he picked up that yellow. And he was being played out of position. That's really important to point out as well. Hi Craig, keep it up, bro. We all like your content and well worth the fee for the subscription. We're champions again. It's been 30 long years for us. Remember the 70s and 80s, justice for the 96. You'll never walk alone. Thank you very much, Mark, and I really appreciate your support, mate. You're a member of the channel. That really helps us out, pal, so thank you very much. Rafadinho has gone for Alisson, Trent, Van Dijk, Gomez, Robbo, Fabinho, Milner, Keita, Salah, Mane and Minamino. That would not surprise me, mate. That could well happen. Mal Content has said that's a strong team selection needed against a fiery Burnley. Yeah, Burnley are no pushovers. I mean, I think they're just a little bit outside the potential European places, and Sean Dyche has had another good season with Burnley. Yeah, which is why I get that we've got Arsenal coming up. That game, I think, is on Wednesday. So, they've 4 days turnaround now. And then we've a week until the Chelsea game. So, that Chelsea game had been moved, remember. It was originally due to take place at the weekend. But with Chelsea being in the semi-finals of the FA Cup, that was pushed back to midweek the following week. So, we've got this game, 4-day break. Then we've got the Arsenal game. And then a week until the Chelsea game. So, maybe not that much rotation, but we'll wait and see. Adam Farnan has said, I think they should take VAR out of it. It ruins the game, e.g. offsides by a toenail and yellow card decisions. I think whatever the ref gives goes. I can understand that, mate, and thank you for the super chat. I can understand that way of thinking, but I just think that they've invested so much in VAR now that it isn't going to change. So it's just about trying to get it right, Adam, and trying to get the best out of what we have. Now, the offside thing, I'm somebody that does think it needs to be adjusted, and how it gets adjusted, I really don't know. You'd heard like somebody like Graham Souness come out and saying, what about we have a situation where the last part of an attacking player's body, if that's onside, then they're onside. I kind of like that, if I'm being honest, but then we're still at a point of where do you draw the line right on these fine margins? Because there's still going to be fine margins, even allowing for that. And I think it is something that FIFA are looking at. I think they've implemented some kind of semi-autonomous system where it's done automatically, and I think they're still trialling that, if my memory is correct. I think they used it in the Club World Cup, actually. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see how it develops. Harry Graham, thank you very much for becoming a member, buddy. Welcome to Anfield Agenda FC. Lovely to have you with us. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a member and you haven't yet joined the Discord group, please do just check out the community tab on our YouTube page, and you'll see the link there for the Discord group. Right, what else have we got? 4-1 can really see Naby Keita enjoying himself against the likes of Tarkowski and me, and I think he'll be subbed off with the likes of Bobby. We've still got Arsenal who'll be ready, said Rafinha. And again, loads of people just welcoming Harry in, which is great to see. And look, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we've gone past 40,000 subscribers. I can't believe I'm saying that, but yes, our little channel has gone past 40,000 subscribers. We want to keep pushing on. Let's see where we end up. You never know. We could end up at the 100k mark down the line at some point. If you do enjoy what we do and you haven't yet joined, please do hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up as well. Right, let's keep going. Craig, do you know when next season will start? Yes, mate. Well, it hasn't been confirmed, but I've a very strong suspicion from what I've read, Mark Mighty read, that next season is probably going to start on September the 12th. That's the date that I've seen mentioned quite a lot. And that would mean there's around a 6-week break in between the end of this season for clubs to give the players a bit of a rest, do a little bit of a pre-season and then get back. So yet to be fully confirmed, but it's looking like September the 12th will be the kick-off of the next season. So thank you for bringing that up, mate, because I think I meant to mention it and forgot about it. When does Man City's court case come out with the result? Monday, 9:30am UK time. It has been confirmed today that the Court of Arbitration for Sports ruling in the Manchester City case will come out on Monday at 9:30am. I've no idea what will happen. I've no idea whether they will be allowed into Europe. I've no idea whether the ban will be halved. I've no idea whether the ban will be overturned completely. But what we do know is Monday morning, 9:30am UK time, we'll have the results of that, whatever the Court of Arbitration for Sport have ruled. Skiller's gone 3-0 with a Mo hat-trick. I'm loving the Mo love, mate. I'm loving the fact you want Mo to get that golden boot. So well played, Skillers. That's your birthday, Mark. That's the day after my birthday. So, birthdays close to each other there, buddy. Arsenal have Spurs on Sunday and they're awful. Let's get these 6 points before Chelsea spoilers roll up at Anfield. Hey Tom, that Chelsea game at Anfield that you're talking about, so much could be on that game. Not only could we potentially break the record in that game, it's also our last home game of the season, so of course we're going to be getting the trophy. But if we beat Burnley tomorrow, that's 18 wins from 18 home games in the Premier League, and nobody has ever won all 19 Premier League home games. So that's another potential record that we could be up for when Chelsea rock up to Anfield. So again, so many reasons for us to want to pick up the 3 points tomorrow. Am I a Liverpool fan? No, mate, no. I'm just completely blagging this from day one. Do you know what I mean? I just said, who's the most gullible of all fans? And then I thought to myself, Liverpool fans, surely. So let's invent a life story. So I went back in and made up loads of events throughout my life. I even went to Istanbul in 2005 just because I thought that this channel might be in the pipeline down the line. So I spent $3,500 or so, maybe a little bit less than that, to go over to Istanbul. And then, do you know what? I wasn't happy with that for my story, so I went to Athens in 2007 as well, just to really get the backstory good for the day that I ever have this YouTube channel, and Jeremy comes in and asks me, am I a Liverpool fan? Maybe the hint there, Jeremy, and it's just a guess, mate, the hint could be in the name Anfield Agenda. Maybe. Now, I'm no sleuth, mate, but maybe. Anyway, I'm just having a bit of fun with you, mate, don't mind me. Right, who do you think will win the Champions League? Said Ryan Gerrard. Manchester City or Bayern Munich? Now, the Champions League draw was done, by the way, today. In case you guys haven't seen it, Manchester City, if they get past Real Madrid, will face either Lyon or Juventus in the quarterfinals. The quarterfinals, the semi-finals are being played over one leg. They're being played at neutral venues. They're all taking place in Lisbon, I think, if my memory's correct. Michael Oliver is the ref for the Spurs game against Arsenal. Mourinho will be happy. Yeah, he's not happy with Michael Oliver, is he? Michael Oliver has been the VAR official for the last two incidents that Mourinho hasn't been happy with. But anyway, Mourinho does like to moan. And do you know what? I watched that Spurs game and it was god awful. It was god awful. That Spurs team were horrendous. They looked like they didn't know what they were doing. They looked like they had no game plan. Harry Kane, I think, had one touch in the opposition penalty area. It was just terrible. Terrible. That's all I can say. Just terrible. If I'm a Spurs fan and I watch that, I am worried. And I'm also fuming. But I told you. I said it to Expressions a while back. I told you Mourinho's going to come in and it's going to be horrendous. Because he just plays horrendous football. Liverpool, you never walk alone. So I think PSG will win it. Look, I'm not going to make any bones about this. I really hope that Manchester City and PSG don't win the Champions League ever. Because my belief is that they're dodgy fuckers. All of them. Both of the clubs. I believe that the way they've gone about their business is dodgy as hell. But that's just my opinion, of course. And my opinion doesn't matter one bit. But I really don't want either of those clubs to ever win a European Cup. Never. I was actually surprised to figure out that Paris Saint-Germain was only formed like in the 70s or 80s or something. I thought that club would have been older than that one. If Manchester City lose the case, is Kevin De Bruyne is staying or leaving? Haven't got a clue, man. Transfers have been quiet recently from Liverpool. They aren't looking at many players. Yeah, it does look like the case. I don't even have any transfer rumours to talk about tonight. Again, I want to just get your thoughts though on the predictions, for the Burnley game. Do let me know your thoughts on the starting 11 that you guys think will happen, and give me your score predictions as well before I move on to the next topic. Craig, do you think it's time Kane moved on? Yes, and I did a video on 888 Sport, mate, saying exactly that. I think Spurs would be best moving on Harry Kane and rebuilding. Hello to everyone that's coming in. Adil, how are you, buddy? Welcome in. Juventus are Alex's pick for the Champions League. It's very open. I will say that about this season's Champions League. You can make an argument for City. You can make an argument for PSG. You can make an argument for Bayern Munich. You can make an argument for Juventus. You could make an argument for Barcelona. It genuinely is a really open tournament this year, and that's what makes it a little bit intriguing. I know we're not. You can make an argument for Atleti as well, of course. Thiago, Jackie D. I was trying to see if it was Jack DD or Jackie D. I've not seen anything concrete on Thiago, mate. Again, we're having some stuff from the European-based journalists that think that Liverpool are very close to agreeing a deal for Thiago. In fact, some of them have said that we've agreed a package with the player. But then you see the Echo and some British-based journalists thinking that we're not as interested as the European counterparts seem to think that we are. So the truth, pal, is I don't know. But I guess we'll find out over the coming weeks. Now, I suppose it's important to remember as well, the transfer window hasn't even opened yet. It opened for one day on July the 1st to allow clubs to tie up stuff with, like players whose contracts were up at the end of June and things like that. So it opened for one day in most of Europe on July 1st, then closed again. And it probably won't open until August 1st, and even that is yet to be confirmed. It's looking like it'll be August to October the 2nd that the transfer window was going to be in the Premier League, but I don't think it's being confirmed yet. What do you think of Paul Glatzel? He looks amazing. Maybe he'll get some game time eventually. Well, he's coming back from a very serious injury, mate. I think he did his ACL that kept him out for quite a long time. But yeah, Glatzel is somebody who... remember Bobby Duncan? I'm sure that you guys all remember Bobby Duncan well. Well, Glatzel and Duncan were just scoring goals for fun for the youths. And yeah, Glatzel is definitely somebody we should keep an eye on, mate, because he was banging in goals in the underage levels, like absolutely tearing it up. Where do you think Lallana will end up? Maybe back on the south coast somewhere, like maybe a Southampton or something. I genuinely don't know, but sincerely, wherever Adam Lallana goes, and I hope this is echoed by all Liverpool fans, I wish the guy nothing but the best. He is a true gent. He has represented this club well. He's always given 100%. He's done some great charity work as well. And it's just a top lad. So wherever Adam Lallana goes, sincerely, I hope that he has a great end to his career, wherever that might be, because he's fulfilled his contract at Liverpool Football Club, which is all we can ever ask of a player. And as I said, represented us really well. When Klopp came in, he was vital to us moving on and vital to what we did with regards to the press and stuff like that. So I've just nothing but fond memories of Lallana, really. I know people will say that he was injured a lot, but that's not his fault. All I can judge him on is the effort that he puts in, and he's always, to me, put the club first and tried to give 100%. Even the fact that he agreed that little contract extension when he could have said no, when he could have protected his own career and his own value ahead of any potential move, but he didn't. He signed up and signed that contract extension to allow him to see through the remainder of this season. So yeah, I've nothing but respect for Lallana. Do you think Klopp cares about the League Cups? Yes, I do. It's important to remember this season we were a little bit unlucky. So what happened in the League Cup is, obviously we were playing in the Club World Cup, and because we had a replay, the game against Villa we had to put the kids out. You've seen that, and you've seen what happened. Without that, having to happen because Klopp gave the players a rest, like he was told to do. No, so it was the FA Cup he gave the players a rest. It was the League Cup where we had to field two teams in 24 hours. Sorry, I'm getting confused. So yeah, we're a little bit lucky in the League Cup. And then in the FA Cup, he was told all clubs in the Premier League were told to respect the winter break. And Jurgen Klopp respected the winter break. So yeah, I know we're beaten by a good Chelsea team in the FA Cup as well. It's important to say that. But yes, I do think he cares about them. But I think he cared about getting this league title more than anything else, and rightly so, because it's what we all wanted as Liverpool fans. Liverpool have pulled out the Thiago Alcantara deal. You're just guessing. Do you know what I mean, Fernando? You're guessing the same as everybody else, mate. You've got fuck all information on this, the same way I have fuck all information on it, mate. So we don't even know if we were ever in the Thiago deal. Now, I've seen a couple of people report what we spoke about before, that maybe, and again, Fernando, sorry, I'm not having a dig at you there, pal. When I say you've got fuck all info, I mean the same as me. Like, I'm not trying to put you down, pal. Sorry. Yeah, the whole Thiago thing, there's been a few reports that maybe it'll be Genie out, Thiago in. And I don't know if that's the case. I've actually seen somebody say that a swap deal could be on the cards, where Genie could go to Bayern Munich and Thiago could come to Liverpool. Now, I don't know if that's just complete guesswork, but when I thought about it, do you know what? Genie would probably suit Bayern Munich, as well as Thiago obviously coming in and suiting us. Now, I don't want to lose Genie Wijnaldum. I love Genie. I'd love to see him sign a new deal. But if that was the case, it wouldn't be the most ridiculous thing in the world. Both players 29 years of age, both players entering into the final year, actually technically are in the final year of their contracts with their current clubs. Maybe, you never know. Anotida, how are you? Welcome in. Manchester City will win the FA Cup this year, said James. Every opportunity that they will, mate, yeah. I won't disagree with you. They're probably the favourites. Who do I want to win the FA Cup? I really don't care. I don't mean that to be rude. We're not in it, so I don't really give a shit who wins it. Lallana gave it all when he pulled on the shirt. Best of luck to him wherever he goes. He'll always get a warm reception at Anfield, to Jimmy Duggan. I absolutely echo that sentiment, mate. Right, let me just change this back to the other layout, by the way. I want Genie always, said Alara. I love Genie as well, Alara. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. I mean, yeah, look, it's very difficult because I'm like everybody else. I want there to be transfers. I want us to go out and bring in players, but I just refuse to come on here and tell lies. I refuse to come on here with clickbait, and I refuse to come on here and make up stories just to get viewers, because I need to be able to look at myself in the mirror, and I couldn't do that if I was on here lying. So I'll always give you my honest opinion, and the honest opinion is, and I think this should be the honest opinion of most people, is we've got no information on Liverpool transfers. We just don't know. The club keeps their cards very close to their chest. And I like it that way. I love the intrigue. I love the guesswork. I love reading all the articles around transfer rumours. But at the end of the day, we just don't know. And we'll have to wait and see what happens. Liverpool 5, Burnley 2. Said a deal. Craig, who's better, Gini or Thiago? Okay, I'm not going to answer the who's better question. I'm going to flip it a little bit, mate. And I'm going to say, who do we need more? And I think we need a Thiago type midfielder more than we need Gini. That's the answer I'd give. They're both excellent midfielders, but they do sort of different things. Albeit Gini can play in a more attacking role. He just doesn't really get the opportunity that much in a Klopp system. So I would say Thiago would be more beneficial to us, but with Gini, you've got somebody that's already accustomed to what Klopp wants, to the tactical way that we play, to the pressing that we do, and that might be something that Thiago would have to get used to, because he's great on the ball, he's great in possession, but out of possession, he probably doesn't have to work as hard at Bayern Munich as our midfielders have to work. And our midfielders really do have to put a shift in, as I'm sure you guys are well aware. What will happen to Kamil Grabara if we have Alisson, Karius, Adrian and Kelleher? Actually, on the goalkeeper situation, we've another goalkeeper, and he signed his first professional contract at the club today. A young Ben Winterbottom. He turns 19 next week, and you know what a lovely early birthday present that is. So congratulations to Ben Winterbottom on signing his first professional contract. He's a 19-year-old goalkeeper. That's another one to add to the list, Matt. So I don't know what will happen to Kamil Grabara. He's probably the best place of the rest, is what I would say, Matt, with regards to ability. I would probably put him a little bit ahead of Griffin Kelleher, if I'm being honest. And as much as I want to be biased towards my fellow Irishman, but I don't know, man. It's really difficult for anybody to break through the youth system to become a goalkeeper at a top club. Very difficult. But I do agree that we do need better than Adrian and Karius as our backup. I've long said that. Dave Smith said, definitely love Lallana. He's just not what he was. Hope he has a great career at a lower team. We need somebody younger than Thiago. Do we? Do we though, Adil? That's the thing, mate. Like, we have a lot of young players coming through. So, I don't know. I wouldn't dismiss Thiago because he's 29. I mean, look at what Robin van Persie did when he went to United at 29. So, 29, you probably still get another 4 or 5 years out of a player these days at 29 years of age. So, we've got Curtis Jones, an excellent young midfielder. We've got Harvey Elliott, a very good wide player. Ryan Brewster, a very good attacker. Quivin Kelleher, a very good young keeper. Kamil Grabara, a good young keeper. We have Sepp Vandenberg. We have Kylian Hoover, great defenders. We've Adam Lewis. We've got Larouci. We've got Neco Williams. So we've got a good group of young players. Paul Glatzel as well, still to come through. So I wouldn't be too against us bringing in somebody that's 29 years of age. Particularly if we were going to give Gini a new contract anyway. It's not really, much of a muchness. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. You get where I'm coming from anyway. Boom, Craig said it. Get in Thiago Klopp. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Do we really need Thiago? I feel we need a backup for Firmino and a winger along with a left back. I'm with you on that one, Darlia. I absolutely want us to sign another attacking player. I think we definitely need a very, 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 very good attacking player as backup. And I would go as far as to say, if the money came in that we'd be comfortable selling Divock Origi for, I'd sell him. And it took me a while to get to that place. I was explaining this last night. Divock Origi is somebody who I hold in the highest regard for the massive moments that he's had. Barca, Champions League final against Spurs, Newcastle, Everton, obviously. Scored some really big goals for Liverpool, but I just don't see him when he starts living up to the level that we'd hoped for. Now he still has time to progress, but if the right money came in and it helped us out with the funds for somebody to come in and supplement the front three, I'd probably take it if it was the right money. Skills said, I think we should sign Aaron Ramsdale as a backup keeper. We did win the league, the champ. Well in, mate. We absolutely fucking won the league. Zaif, I do remember you. Yes, I do, pal. I genuinely do, and I don't remember lots of stuff, mate, but I do remember you. We have a Harry Wilson update. He scored 7 goals in the Premier League. Looks really good. No, he doesn't. He does not look really good at all. He was a sub yesterday, came on, did fuck all when he came on. He scores some decent highlight reel goals, Matt, but he's not good enough. He's not good enough currently, and that's not to say he won't get to the level, but there's no fucking way that Harry Wilson is going to slot into that front three, mate, and make a seamless transition. It's just not going to happen. He's another player that if we got the money for, I think we'd sell him. I genuinely don't see how anybody can look at Harry Wilson and go, yeah, he's good enough. Put him in there. He's good enough. Take out Sadio, drop him in. Be a massive drop off, man. Would you say our youngsters could be back up in the long term? Yes. As I said, Harvey Elliott, Raheem Brewster, Curtis Jones, they to me are all nailed on to be first teamers within the next 24 months. I thought Minamino could be a good backup for Firmino. I would. When we brought in Takumi Minamino, I never seen him in my mind playing through the centre. So when he first started through the centre, I was a little bit shocked. But maybe, like Bobby Firmino, maybe Klopp had an idea when he brought him in. Well, of course he had an idea of where he wants him to play, but maybe he looked at Takumi and he thought, well, I can maybe tweak you a little bit, like I did with Bobby. And that could be a good shout, mate. He could very well be an option for giving Bobby a rest. Sal Wilson permanently, said Skillers 123. Mark Gordon thinks Burnley will win 2-0. Yes, Mark. We've seen your 50 fucking 8 comments, mate. Think Burnley will win 2-0. Now, one click of the mouse and you're gone, son. Adios. You and your fucking crazy notions of us losing 2-0 at home to Burnley are gone. Adama Traore must come, said Fernando Curran. I don't think we're going to sign Adama, mate. I'd seen links to Juventus actually recently for Adama, but Wolves are a club that are in Europe still. Wolves are a club that look like they're going to qualify for Europe again next season. And they're not short of a few bob either, so I don't know if he will move on just yet. Battle for the Golden Glove tomorrow, yes. Alisson won behind Pope, who has 14 clean sheets. Alisson is 13. Obviously, Alisson was out at the start of the season, so for him to have 13 is a great achievement. But yeah, I'd love to see him get the Golden Glove again. People seem to have forgotten about Grujic, said Pranav. I haven't. We spoke about Grujic a lot, mate, on the streams over the past few weeks. I'd like to see Marco Grujic, at least given a season, to show Klopp what he can do, to learn off Jordan Henderson, to learn off Fabinho, to learn off James Milner, and see what he can do. Because he's had a couple of seasons now at Hertha Berlin. His manager there spoke really highly of him. He's a massive unit of a fella. And I'd love to see him given a chance this season. Scott, how are you, mate? Welcome in. New ESPN report says we won't go in for Thiago. You're going to see a lot both sides, Neil. And I don't know what the truth is, mate. We'll see a lot of stuff saying we will, a lot of stuff saying we won't. I haven't got a clue. I genuinely don't know. Before the links to Thiago came out, he wouldn't have even been on my radar. I had seen nothing about it. To me, the Bayern Munich player that would make more sense is David Alaba. I've said that before. Cover at left back, cover at centre back, can even play in midfield if needed. Also, going into the final year of his Bayern Munich contract. And I think he's only 27, something like that. Gary Richards, how are you, buddy? Lovely to see you win again. Firmino's better than Greenwood. Firmino's better than everybody, mate. Firmino was a god. To me, anyway. I love the guy. 3-1 to Liverpool, said Giants Nation. Lovely to see you win again, mate. Let's rob Bournemouth with Wilson by selling 50 million and above. I think that Bournemouth might have learned their lesson buying players from Liverpool, mate, because we have absolutely fleeced them in recent years. Liverpool 5, Burnley 1, said Mike. We'll miss the captain 100%, Charles. Absolutely, mate. I'm with you on that one. It is a loss not having Hendo there. We see when Hendo isn't there exactly what we're missing. I think Klopp described him as an animal on the pitch, and obviously he meant that in the most complimentary way. You don't see what you're lacking from Hendo until he's not there, and then it's very abundant what you get from Jordan Henderson. Abundantly clear, I should say. Excuse me. We should have kept Danny Ings. Look, it's easy to say that in hindsight, Mark, but he wasn't going to really get an opportunity at Liverpool. At least not an opportunity to build up a rhythm of games to show the form that he's managed to show at Southampton. And I am absolutely delighted for Danny Ings because he's just a lad that just works hard, keeps his head down, constantly smiles. And I'm delighted that he's doing that well at Southampton. I genuinely hope that he keeps challenging for that Golden Boot this season. And if Mo isn't to win it, then it's a big ask. But I would love to see Ingsy do it. We need a backup for Alisson. I agree, Clifford. You know my thoughts on this. Erdogan Kikir, that's the guy that I would like to see us go and get. You guys asked me the other day about Kirby, and there is a little bit of an update on Kirby. So the club will make a decision at the end of the season about whether or not the players will be moving to the new training facility ahead of the new campaign. The club have also applied for planning permission to construct a translucent mesh fence to be erected at Kirby, and the club doesn't believe that application will delay the moving of the Reds to that new training facility. So still touch and go about whether they'll be there in time for next season, but the facility at Kirby, that wonderful new £50 million training facility that the owners have garnished Jurgen Klopp with. It was Kloppo's baby. Klopp went to them and said, I'd love this new facility where we can bring everybody onto one campus, and the owner said, Kloppo, done son, and it's nearing completion. So then that is the update. I did tell you guys that I would go and check it out and see if I could find out anything on it for you, and that's the latest news that I have there. What have we got? Oh yeah, according to a report in Goal as well, it looks as if the Reds won't be making any announcement on our new kit deal with Nike until August the 1st. So August the 1st minimum, it looks like, is when we will start seeing the club issuing images or a release date for the Nike kit. So again, just a bit of an update on that one. We're screwed without Hendo. Well, we've nothing really to be screwed about, mate, because we're already motherfucking champions. It's just a matter of trying to get those 9 points minimum now for the last 4 games. Raheem Brewster is on fire at Swansea. Yes, he's playing very well there indeed, and very so well that it looks like Kloppo may be revisiting his decision, because it looked like Brewster was going to go back out on loan somewhere next season. I don't know where the plan was. But he's doing so well since the restart that maybe he's forced his way into the manager's thoughts for next season. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Will I watch the Champions League? Yes, I definitely will, mate. I know we got knocked out by Atleti, but it's the Premier Club competition. I love European Cups. I've said this in our Discord group. We've won a Premier League now, and that's great. But from now on, I want European Cups, because I fucking love the Champions League, and I'd love Liverpool to just keep adding some Champions Leagues. Look, I know people are going to say, yes, Craig, we want to match Manchester United and go past Manchester United's 20 league titles, and I get you, I hear you, but I love the European Cup. There's something just sexy about European nights at Anfield. Just the cold air, the fog, the mist, the Champions League anthem, the lights of Anfield, the players walking out onto the pitch, the noise. There's just something magnificent about European nights at our beautiful stadium. Klopp told to have a word over Virgil van Dijk, Liverpool Echo. I don't know what that's in relation to, Eugene. Klopp told to have a word over Virgil van Dijk, Liverpool Echo. No idea what that means, mate. What else we got? Brewster gives us a better option than Origi. Divock is good impact as a sub, but not a regular cover. I agree with that. Mr. Malek, thank you very much. I'm not even going to try and try the first name, mate, because I don't want to insult you by getting it wrong, and I'm terrible at pronouncing names. Right, I don't even want Manchester United to make the Europa League. Well, they will make the Europa League a deal, unfortunately. Will I watch the Champions League? Yes, I've already addressed that one. Damn, Hendo out, just saw this. Yes, Chris, unfortunately, mate, he's been ruled out for the last 4 games of the season. But the good news is he doesn't require surgery, and he will very likely be ready for the start of next season. So that's the good news, I suppose, if there is any good news to be taken from today. And also, it's 5 years to the day since Jordan Henderson was made permanent captain of this magnificent football club. So what a 5 years that's been for Hendo, and here's the 5 more. I want the same thing too, Craig. We need to distance ourselves from the rest and only behind Real's cabinet. Yeah, but look, if you look at Real Madrid's Champions Leagues or European Cups, there's about 4 or 5 of them that are a bit fucking iffy, if you know what I mean. If you don't know what I'm on about, go back and have a look through it or Google it. And it's not an insult at Real Madrid, by the way, but, you know, they just weren't real European Cups in my mind. But still, that recent treble that they did, that 3 years in a row under Zidane, was just ridiculous. I mean, I despise Real Madrid for many reasons, mostly because I always veer towards Barca in Spain, but yeah, that 3 years in a row, that is one hell of an achievement, and you just I've got to begrudgingly give credit for that. Paul, how are you, mate? Paul Clatworthy, lovely to see you win. How confident are you that if I asked a game over the last 2 seasons in the Premier League that you would say the score and goal scorers? I would be very, very, very confident that I'd get that wrong. And very wrong. I mean, massively wrong. Because if there's one thing that people know about me on this channel, mate, it's that I've got a memory like a goldfish. So if I don't write stuff down, yeah. Tom, I really don't care what he has to say, mate. I couldn't give a shiny shit what he has to say. He is a sensationalist, and I couldn't give a fuck what he has to say. Pogba took him 15 months to get him to score his first Premier League goal. Again, don't care about Paul Pogba. What do I think of the Koulibaly rumours? That they're nonsense. I've been saying it for a really long time, mate. There's no way that we're going out there and dropping 60, 70 million quid to sign 29-year-old Koulibaly. Now, I did say that we may sign Thiago, who's the same age, but at 1/3 of the price, or at least maybe 40% of the price of Koulibaly. And that's not to mention the wages that Koulibaly will probably want as well. So, Di Lorenzo, the Napoli president, has said that he won't accept anything less than €90 million. I think he probably will accept a little bit less, but I still don't see Liverpool going out there and dropping that much money. What else we got? I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, Franco Cups. There you go. You know what I'm talking about then, Alejandro. Play FIFA 20 career mode. I don't play computer games, mate. Yeah, sorry. Craig, you're the GOAT. I'll take it, Brandon. I'll take it, sir. I'm absolutely not, but I'll take it, mate. What about Adama? I wouldn't mind him, the champ. I was... When people started talking about Adama Traore at first, I was a bit unsure because this has been his first real breakthrough season. But the more I've watched him, the more I can start to see things clicking into place, and his end product is a bit better, particularly with his assists and stuff. And I just think under Klopp, there's no doubt that he will be an absolute superstar. And the same if he went and worked with Pep Guardiola. And the same if he went and worked with most top managers. And he's working with a top manager, by the way, in Nuno. But I mean, Liverpool will be able to, and Manchester City or whoever else will be able to give him the platform of, you know, the Premier club competition in Europe. And he's still relatively young as well, Adama. So I wouldn't mind it, but again, I don't see it happening. James Tobra, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC. Buddy, lovely to have you with us. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. We've had over 230, 240 people, something like that, become members of our channel. So thank you to each and every one of you that have, because all these little things make a world of difference to a small channel like ours. So yes, thank you. We were talking about Hot Mic before, and we haven't been streaming on Hot Mic for the last few games because of a couple of technical tweaks at our end that we're working on. But we may be able to get the last couple of games of the season in back on Hot Mic, by the way. So if you are going to download the Hot Mic app, please do use the code Anfield when you download the app. And if you don't know what Hot Mic is, it's a platform that allows you to sync up whoever's doing the match commentary. So let's say it was us on the Hot Mic app to whatever game you're watching. It's available for free in the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. And if you want to sign up, please use the sign up code Anfield when you do so, because that's our sign up code. And look at this. This is why I love our subscribers. Everybody welcoming James in. Best group of subscribers in the fucking world, bar none. I love you fuckers. What do you think of Thiago signing for LFC? Said Nicola Galloway. I don't know if it's true or not, Nicola. I genuinely don't. I wouldn't mind it. I think it would be a relatively clever piece of business, but I don't know if there's any truth to it or not. Greenwood or Rashford? They both look like good footballers, Jeremy. And Greenwood's obviously having a real breakthrough season, and I think he will go on to be better than Marcus Rashford. So if I had to take one, I'd probably take Greenwood, because I'm not going to lie, I know he's a United player and I should be slagging him off, but he does look like a good footballer, man. I'm not going to lie. Thank you, Giants Nation. Best YouTuber ever. Still weird thinking of myself as a YouTuber. I think of myself as a 38, almost 39-year-old, bald, overweight Irish idiot, and certainly not a YouTuber, but hey, I guess I kind of am, and that's okay, I suppose. Would I take Greenwood at Liverpool? Yes, of course. I think most top clubs, if we're putting aside our biases and we're being honest, yes. If Mason Greenwood was breaking through at Liverpool, we'd all be very excited about it, as we are with Ryan Brewster, albeit Greenwood is a little bit further along in his development and has got more opportunities. Who do we think is better, Arsenal or United? 100% United. Arsenal are horrendous. 100% United. Arsenal, look, they're improving bit by bit, but if you look at the squads, they're just not comparable. Arsenal squad, is nowhere near Manchester United squad. And Mikel Arteta could very well prove to be a good manager, and he has certainly improved Arsenal a bit, but unless he's backed by the board, by Stan Kroenke and the people that run Arsenal, he's got a massive fight on his hands. Jeremy reckons Barca will win the Champions League. I'd be happy with that. Jeremy, everybody knows that watches this channel that if I push Liverpool aside, that the club that I've next look out for has always been Barcelona. I've always spoken about that fact on the channel. Now, don't get me wrong, when we play Barcelona, I want us to destroy them because I'm Liverpool through and through. But if Barca win the Champions League this year, I'll be as happy as anyone, man. As happy as I can be for any club that isn't Liverpool winning it. Will you be streaming on the Crack On channel? Yes, Harry. For those of you that don't know, we do have a second channel called Crack On, spelled CRAICON. And we were hoping to do a lot more stuff on that this season, but when football got stopped in March, we kind of ran out of stuff to do, so we didn't really have enough content to put out there. Craig, you're only 38, shocked. Why did you look younger when you started? It's because of you fuckers, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's because of you. I don't know what age I look, by the way. I don't know if I look 38. I don't know if I look 45. I don't know if I look 35. I just am what I am. Right, I think Bayern will win the Champions League, said Connor. 1-1-1. I think Suarez was the greatest player that ever played for Liverpool, but definitely not my favourite. He definitely wasn't the greatest player that ever played for Liverpool, man. That goes to Kenny Dalglish or Steven Gerrard, without a shadow of a doubt. I love Luis Suarez. I loved having him at the club. I love how snidey he is. I love how he never gives up. And some of the things I've seen Luis Suarez do, I was amazed at. Absolutely baffled. Like, he could nutmeg a fucking goldfish. He's just, or a mermaid. He's absolute quality. But he's not the best player that ever played for Liverpool. That's Steven Gerrard or Kenny Dalglish, and that's not even up for debate. I'm sorry. Fred or Keita? Keita. Every day of the week. See, Fred's kind of limited on what he can do, but what he does kind of well. He's definitely improved at United, but Naby Keita has a much higher ceiling than Fred, and Naby Keita will turn out to be twice the player Fred will. I'm absolutely certain of that. Connor said, I'm a Liverpool fan, or I'm a United fan, but Liverpool are the best team in the world. You're not too wrong there, Connor. Well in. And welcome, by the way. Lovely to see you in. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wind this stream up now, but just a reminder that we will be here tomorrow for the Reds game against Burnley. We're going to be starting our coverage on YouTube from about 2:30 PM. So please do make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Please do make sure you've got notifications turned on. Again, just a shout out for our social media accounts. As you can see on the screen there now, we are on Twitter and we are on Instagram, and it's just at Anfield Agenda on both. But we very recently set up a new Anfield Agenda Facebook page. There is a link in the description for that, or you could just search Anfield Agenda on there. And we're going to be more active on there as well in the coming weeks ahead. So thank you to Connor, and we're going to have a group of our subscribers actually that are going to be looking after the Facebook page for us. So thank you to those guys, and you know, there's going to be a lot more content coming up from us, particularly with next season in mind. I'm going to be doing some more videos on Instagram, some more Instagram lives, a few Q&As and stuff like that. So if you are active on Twitter or Instagram, please do give us a follow at Anfield Agenda on either platform. We're heading towards 15k on Instagram. I think we're at about 35,000 on Twitter. And as you can see, we've just gone past 40,000 subscribers here on YouTube. So again, look, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. If I don't see you tomorrow, I hope you have a lovely weekend. I'm going to be taking Sunday off, so I'm going to be doing the game tomorrow, going to be doing a post-match show afterwards, and then I'm going to spend the rest of the weekend with the family. So look, love to each and every one of you. Take care, stay well, stay safe. I hope to see you at 2:30 tomorrow. If not, have a lovely weekend. Love to all of you guys, and up the motherfucking champions. Take